There's a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt that I love, which is, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. This is the contradiction of the game, is that to some degree, and this was true for every one of us in the game, it's probably true for anyone of you out there, is we're running around looking to get our self-esteem from outside in, right? That's what I was doing, is outside in. If that beautiful girl is going to be with me and likes me and I'm accepted, then that's good. And it can end up creating, and this is the dark side of the game, someone very needy. You always need other people's approval. So your long-term goal with this is to create your self-esteem from inside out. You know, once you can create the self-esteem from inside out, instead of esteem come from outside in, things start to work. I think the ages are right from 9 to 13. Once you start developing a separate identity from your parents are supposed to esteem you, you know, and allow you to be able to esteem yourself. If they don't do that, if they're always hard on you, even if they want the best for you and they love you, but they're always critical, if they're always hard on you, if they're distant, if they're not there, that fucks with your self-esteem. You start looking for it elsewhere, and that creates those kind of confidence problems. What I recommend doing is, a lot of you guys give yourself negative messages. You know, so a lot of you guys, what's the reason, for example, that you don't approach someone? Why? What is it that we walk around, we feel good, you see a beautiful woman, and if you don't approach her, what are you telling yourself? You're somehow telling yourself when you don't approach her that she is better than you, she is greater than you, because you feel equal to her, you could approach her, right? So what you want to start doing every morning and tape them up in your mirror is write down a few affirmations. I'm going to hand out a sheet of possible affirmations, and you guys come up with a couple. And what you want to do is start giving yourself affirmations every morning, because you're telling yourself conscious messages of positive things that you're going to tell yourself before you go out into the world. Every morning, look in the mirror, you know, I would even advise doing it naked if you can, and really see yourself, you know, if you don't have roommates. And so I'll give you an example of how you could develop an affirmation for yourself. Does anyone here have approach anxiety who wants to share a little bit? A lot of guys. You haven't talked yet. So when you start to see a girl, what prevents you from approaching her?
Well, I mean, your book has helped a lot, but there's this voice that goes off in my head telling me that she has a boyfriend or she no longer be interested, and then I see images of myself being rejected by her, and then that whole, my body shuts down.
Right. So if you told yourself in the mirror every day, so if you have a negative message, you want your affirmation to be the opposite. So if you tell yourself every day, I am accepted for who I am at all times, that would be a good affirmation for yourself. You know, so if you walked up, and even if she had a boyfriend, you wouldn't care, you could talk to her because you feel I'm accepted for who I am at all times. So that could be one of your affirmations. Again, most of our problems here are not with the women, they're with the messages that our heads give ourselves. What's your negative belief?
I'm going to have nothing to say or not be able to take the conversation anywhere.
Okay, then I have nothing to say and not be able to take the conversation anywhere. So how about looking in the mirror and saying, I'm an interesting, dynamic person who people want to be around. I'm an interesting, dynamic person who people want to be around. That would be a nice affirmation for you.
Stylelife.com presents Stylelife Academy.